Out to Maria, I'm Sheree Kinnear and these are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. The price of diesel is continuing to rise and often exceeds that of 91 petrol. Price-checking app GasBuy shows an average price for diesel of $2.63 a litre. AA Principal Policy Advisor Terry Collins says it's down to the war in Ukraine, demand for chemicals used in diesel from aviation and for heating in Europe. He expects the government will backtrack on reinstating the full fuel excise tax in January.
If they do go to look at it in January to put it back on, that the prices will be really high and it'll make it untenable for them to put it back on at that time in an election year.
Migrants might be missing out on billions in savings by the time they reach retirement. People living here on temporary visas are not allowed to join KiwiSaver until they move onto a resident class visa. A study which followed 70,000 migrants who arrived here in 2009 found after 5 years about 10,000 were still on temporary visas. Calculations based on assumptions around inflation and interest rates show lost savings would have accumulated to around $51,000 per person by the time they reached 65. Disappointment for one of South Auckland's leading charity figures. David Letele, also known as the Brown Butterbean, says someone has broken into his food bank and stolen meat and vegetables. Letele says police have been able to investigate but weren't able to find any fingerprints. He says he can't feel any anger, just disappointment.
But it's just really like a kick in the face, man. It's so sad, I just feel so that this has happened. Who steals from a food chain?
Meanwhile, the retail sector is still feeling angry and unsupported by police and the government. Back in August, Chris Hipkins told police to move faster on allocating money from a $6 million crime prevention fund for shops to install bollards and other security measures. But only 7 businesses have so far received funding. Dairy and Business Owners Group Chairman Sunny Kaushal says it's quite disappointing.
They have not been even able to spend 2% of the fund, and the 7 businesses that we are talking about, 5 of them were given by us to police as a pilot program, so no progress has been made.
And as students head back to school today, Kids Can says many will be turning up with nothing to eat. The charity says it's feeding 10,000 more children than it was at the beginning of the year. The principal at an Auckland primary school says kids who have not had breakfast or lunch can struggle to participate in class and says it's important for schools to reach out to families in difficulty. And those are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. For more stories and to stay up to date, head to nzherald.co.nz. Kia pai te rā.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here. And head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.